2nd of May, Rabbi Furst, Pirkei Mishnah Berura.
One
Right.
to
There's a
count
mitzvah on
the
each.
Omer himself.
Right. Each and every person has a separate mitzvah to count the Omer themselves. Right. As opposing, let's say, something which is going to be for the based in or for the Shliach Tzibur to do.
Oh,
So when we count in shul, it's not sufficient for a person to say Amen and include him in the chazen's counting.
No, L'tchatchila he should be counting himself. Right.
That's okay.
Yeah. Should count with the bracha himself and first make the bracha and then count for himself. Right.
but can you say Amen to his bracha then? Because I thought when you say Amen, you're sort of included in his bracha.
That's if you, first of all, if you have in mind to be Yotzi, number one.
Oh, right.
And also,
right.
also if the Shliach Tzibur has intention to be Motzi you, you need in general you need those two conditions. That you have to have the intention that the shots or somebody else will be Motzi you, and also that the shots or the one who's making the bracha will be having in mind to be Motzi you as well. And also if you say after when you hear when you say Baruch Hashem, you say Baruch Shemai, right? So if you say that, which normally people do say out of habit, then that's going to invalidate the bracha in terms of you being able to be yotzi with the bracha. That's why when someone's making kiddush for you or something like that, you're not supposed to say Baruch Shemo when you hear the Shem Hashem, correct? No?
Oh.
Not supposed to be saying that.
So then why can you say it during the repetition of the Shmona Esrei? Because they're not really davening for you.
They're supposed to be having in mind for the person who's not a bucky, who's not. But that's true. If a person, let's say, for some reason he needs the shots to be motzi him, right? He should not be saying Baruch Shemoy.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's true. In general, though, when we've all davened on our own and the shots is not really being motzi us, then right, the people don't usually they do say that, but if he's being motzi you for some reason you can't make the brachas yourself, so then you would not say Baruch Shemo, correct?
Yeah, I have a question. If I'm remembering it correctly, there was a situation where the Rav of the shul would make the bracha for Sirius Omer every night, and then count, and then he forgot one night. He Pashut forgot.
Right.
So now he can't make the bracha.
Right.
So I'm trying to remember how it worked, but that's what I'm asking. So he worked it out somehow that because it was embarrassing for him, all of a sudden now he can't make the bracha that he forgot. He arranged somehow that he could make the bracha for someone else.
Right.
How does that work?
So that's a very good point. The Mishnah Berura actually speaks about that particular situation. I'm just trying to recall where exactly that is. One second.
Yeah, I remember that situation, but I can't.
One second. We'll come back. Barry will come to it. We'll see that situation. That'll be mentioned in the Mishnah Berura. Let's hold on to that for the time being. Hold on to that in the meantime. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So. let's continue on. Okay. Look at the Sif Cotton Hay in the Mishnah. Yeah. Right. Mechaber said if a person forgot and didn't make it the sphere at the beginning of that, he can count the whole night long. Right. And then also a mitzvah al kol achad l'sofer la'atzmo. Take a look at Sif Cotton Dalet and Hay in the Mishnah Berura.
Oh, okay. So Dalid, holech sofer b'chule. So he can go on and count. Dechol shelo avar halayla. Lo napik adain.
Right.
Okay, so what this, let's see, the whole Shelo Avar, that the whole night did not go by.
Right. It's right. For as long as if the whole night has not gone by yet.
Uh-huh. Okay, so Napik Adayan,
Miklal.
you could still count.
Lo napik adayin miklal hakasuv temimos tiyena. Meaning, as long as the night had not fully passed, it hasn't gone out. Napik is to go out. Adayin has not yet gone out. Miklal from the category of hakasuv, what the Torah is talking about, temimos tiyena. Meaning, one of the criteria of the mitzvah of Sfirus Omer is that you should be counting tamimus. They should be counting complete days, right? So,
Right.
So that would be up until Nate's, or
usually Olos Hashacha.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Usually, Olos Hashacha is usually considered the new day for all intents and purposes.
So and when is Olos HaShachar is counted as when it's light?
It's the beginning of the very dawn. Basically 72 minutes before sunrise. By sunrise, it's already pretty well illuminated. Most of the sky is illuminated by Nitzachama. By Olos Hashacha, it's just beginning to have the first rays of dawn.
When the stars disappear, I guess.
That's when they're starting to disappear, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so hey, lispor la'atzmo. So one should count for himself. Dictive uspartem lachem. As it's written, you shall count for yourselves.
Right. So that's why you count. Each person has to count for themselves because it says "Svartem lechem," count for yourselves.
Mashma sheha mitzvah. I can't tell. Is that tel al kol yachid? Yachid.
Mashma mitzvah chal al kol yachid yachid. It's implied from this that the mitzvah is chal, incumbent upon each and every person.
Okay. V'hinei mashma mizeh the svira eino kemo b'sha'ar mitzvah taloi ba'amira.
It seems to be from this that the sphere is not like other mitzvahs which are dependent upon speech.
Okay.
What does that mean? It's not dependent on speech.
Well, it's not similar to other mitzvahs which are dependent on speech. For example, you have he says, he gives the Indian Kiddush or Havdalah. You have Kiddush and Havdalah. Kiddush is a mitzvah which you have to say. Havdalah is a mitzvah which you have to say, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to explain why is it different? Why is it? Where's the difference here?
It's okay. That's very interesting.
Yeah, in what way?
Although because I thought for Shabbos, unlike the holidays where you have to say Kiddush to sort of bring in the holiday, I thought Shabbos automatically was every 7 days. It's Shabbos whether you say Kiddush or not.
Yeah, that's very true. Correct. You're right. Correct about that. Right.
Right. The Bezdin can determine when Yontif is, but not when Shabbos is.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Oh, but nevertheless, when we make Kiddush, we're making Kiddush as a verbal declaration that the Shabbos is being sanctified, not by our actions, but it's sanctified by by Kadosh Baruch Hu's decree.
So when we make Kiddush on Shabbos, we're just saying we recognize that this is Shabbos.
Exactly.
But when we make Kiddush on Yontif, we're saying, okay, this is Yontif. I'm declaring this Yontif. I'm declaring that this is Yontif.
Right. So it's different in that way. Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I have abbreviations here that I'm not sure. Vav Kaf Yud Vav Bet.
Ukiyotzi
B'zeh.
Similar things like that, right? Kiddush Uvdala Ukiyotzi B'zeh, and other similar ones like this.
Oh, okay. The Im Shema L'Chavera. Oh, okay. The Nit Kavein Lazot the Yotze was there. Okay, Mishum de Shomea Keona. Oh, the Hacha Gilta HaTorah. Let's see.
Right. So it's different. This mitzvah of Sfiras Omer is incumbent upon each and every individual, and it's not going to be like, for example, Kiddush and Havdalah and other mitzvahs like them, that if he's going to hear Shema Mechaver, if he's going to hear the mitzvah from his friend, in his kavan, let's say, and he's having kavanah that he should be fulfilling his mitzvah with the statement of his friend, the Yotzi is that he's going to be fulfilling his obligation. That's what we call Shemei Kona. Listening is like you're saying, is like you're answering or saying it.
Oh, Shomea Kona. Oh, okay.
All right.
Okay, the Hakol Gilta HaTorah Delo Yatsa Kol Kama Delo Sefer. That's not Sefer. Sefer. The Atzmo, I guess, that he counted by himself.
That the Torah here, the Lo Yotzi, he's not going to fulfill his obligation. Lo Yotzi, he's not fulfilling his obligation. Kol Kama, as long as Lo Sapro Basa, as long as he has not counted for himself. He must count for himself.
Okay. Aval yesh ach tronim shekatvu the the kavanat haTorah who rach dilo nema the mitzvah zo.
However, the latter-day authorities, right, because of that they write that what's the intention of the Torah, the Kavanas of Torah?
Okay, so rach dilo nema the mitzvah zo.
Based in, they say that it's really saying that it's not a mitzvah on the based in. It's really, you could be yotzi with your being shmei kona, but
Okay.
it's simply not a mitzvah on the based in.
Oh, so zo, let's see, mitzvah zo. What's that? Af? No.
Based in Levad Koi.
Oh, I've based in Levad. Oh, I'm based in alone. Oh, okay. Okay. Kai Kamo the
Kamosh b'shmitas v'yovelis, like the years of Shemitah and Yovel. We don't count, there's no mitzvah for you to count the years of Shemitah or the years of Yovel. That's something which the Beis Din is obligated to do.
oh,
So Omer
right.
is not like those mitzvahs. Some would, you shouldn't think that Sfiras Omer is something which the Beis Din is obligated to do. Like they are obligated to do Shemitah and they're obligated to do Yovel. That's not the case.
But
So yeah.
quick
Okay.
question: does the Beit Din count that literally, like at Rosh Hashanah time, or?
Yeah, there's a mitzvah when there's a Beis Din. There's a mitzvah that the Beis Din counts. Correct.
Oh, okay. Very good. You had a
But
question?
but it's like, isn't it like Shabbos that it's coming anyway?
No, Shemitah and Yovel have to be declared. Yeah, they have to declare Shemitah. It's not going to be Shemitah if they don't declare it.
Oh. So that okay. So
And
that's like Yontiv.
That's right.
It's also similar to the Rosh Chodesh. You declare what day it's going to come out on.
Also, correct. Also, by Rosh Chodesh, you have to have the testimony of the Eidim, the witnesses, and based in if they're convinced that their witnesses are telling the truth, and they saw the new moon, then the Beis Din declares the new month. Correct.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, so the Yovel, Yovelot, okay, Diktiv Sham Usfarta Lecha Elikai Etz Yabor.
Elokoi ala tzibur, on the tzibur. It's obligated on the tzibur. It's not a mitzvah for the Beis Din, right? Sfiras Omer is not a mitzvah for the Beis Din like Yovel and Shemitah, but it's rather a mitzvah on the tzibur.
Oh, on the tzibur. Okay. Aval be'emet im shama nechaverav she siper v'hit kaven let's say it v'gam chaverav kevan the hotzio yatsa. So this is saying he could be Yotze by a friend?
Right. But they say that if in truth, if he heard from his friends, his saper, that his friend was counting, in his kabbal, let's say, and he had kavanah that he wanted to be fulfilling his mitzvah with his friends counting,
Okay, Lotzio Yatsa, okay,
Gam
Kamo,
Chavero, Cheven Laotzia, and also his friend had kavanah that he should be
Right.
exempting his other friend. So you have to have these two kavanahs. You, the one who wants to fulfill your obligation, has to have specific intention that the person's doing the mitzvah should do it for you as well. And then the one who's doing the mitzvah has to have a specific intention that he's doing you the mitzvah as well. Then you be yours.
Okay, Kamo B'chol Makom, I don't know what this abbreviation is.
That
Dalit,
Kaimalan, called
the
Kamon.
Kaimalan, okay. Shomea Keone, oh, okay. B'chol Zeh B'sfira, Aval, let's see, where's oh, here it is. Aval Bracha, Shemevarchin Al Hasfira. Cholama.
Kuliyama Efshel Litzei Sidei Chavero.
Okay.
Or Kol Brachas. Right. But the bracha, the only machlokus is whether the counting has to be done by you and only by you. Right? Some
Mhm.
say that only you can make the counting, nobody else. And some say that no, you can be fulfilling your mitzvah with someone else making the count. But everyone agrees about the counting of the blessing, that's something that can be done.
Oh, so
By everyone.
Aydecha Filu Hu Baki. Oh, B'chol habrachot mihu minhag b'chol Yisrael shekol echad mevarech b'chol lashon.
Well, the minhag is that everyone makes the bracha themselves, right? They ain't something of shliach tzibur. They're not to be relying on the shliach tzibur.
You'd say, the kevan shelo yada, Mike Amar, ein ze sfira. Oh, since he doesn't know when what the count is.
That that he has to say the Achronim say is mutter b'kol lashon. Counting is permissible in any lashon, any language. Milvad she'evan es lashon, as long as he understands what he's saying when he's counting. He has to understand the language that he's saying the counting in.
That's interesting.
Right. Maybe because if he's not going to understand the language, I feel a super blush in the Kurdish, even if he counts in Hebrew, lo yotze, he's not going to fulfill his mitzvah.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Lo yoda, my, come on. But if he doesn't understand, even if he doesn't understand Hebrew, and he says the words in Hebrew, but he doesn't understand what the words mean, since he doesn't understand what he's saying, that's not a counting. It implies that you're counting and you know what you're counting.
Oh, that's interesting.
So you can't fulfill your obligation if you don't know what the words mean.
Wow. I wonder if the Rambam has anything to say about that. Because I think, did the Rambam say even if you don't know feel in Hebrew, you're still davening to Hashem?
Right. Well, davening is something else because you basically know you're supplicating and requesting and praising the Kadosh Baruch Hu.
Ah,
But here, if you don't know the difference between one number and another number, it can't be considered a count.
right, right. Okay, that makes sense. Very good.
Wait. Yeah.
Barry. Yeah, we Barry
Okay.
wanted to say something.
Yeah, no, well, this is all relating to the time, basically, when not everybody had a sefer or a sitter. There were and not everybody had like a luach on the refrigerator, so it was basically had to be in your head.
I hear.
Right, right, yeah.
So when you got to shul on Tuesday night and you didn't remember, you there was nothing to look up yourself. You had to depend on listening to the Shliach Tzibur and what he said. So then you knew, oh, this is the 12th day, whatever, and then you could count correctly.
Right, but so there's one thing. That one thing is counting correctly. One is understanding what you're counting, right? Here we're talking about even if you would count correctly, but if you didn't understand what the count was, you wouldn't be Yotze.
Okay, very good.
Very good.
Okay.
So everyone have a good afternoon. We'll see each other tomorrow.
Yatz Hashem. All the
Thank you,
best.
Barry.
Go to.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, be well. Take care, Barry.
Take care, Mayor.
Okay, see you later.